This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started. Hello, heroes, and welcome once again to Superconnectivity. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor Esser, and with me, as always, is the blue-eyed bastion of brilliance. That is.
Or me, Phil me and Perich.
That's the one! He's my favorite one of them all.
Don't let Lil hear.
Looking at all of my... she's okay. I like Philip. I like Lilith.
Oh, please, your favorite. Your favorite is Mr. Mosbanzor.
Yeah, maybe. You know, I do love the guy. I'm not going to deny my love for Maz Manzoor. He's an amazing co-host.
Who doesn't love everyone's skinny rich friend?
He is so skinny. I gotta say, man, he is. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I used to say that as like a joke.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of chubby, but I was so much more fatter than him.
But then
when we first started hanging out back in the early aughts. But you know, you saw him at the thing. He's ripped. He's in shape, and he's a good-looking man. Not going to deny it. I can see a man and say he's good-looking. I'm not going to deny it. But yeah, he is now really in many ways my skinny rich friend. So, But yeah, it was originally kind of ironic just because it was a comparative statement.
Yes.
But as it's played out now, it's like, oh yeah, kind of lived up to the hype, Maz. We love you for that.
You said his destiny. Now he just has to win the lottery. Skinny rich friend.
Yeah, well, hey, Phil, like I say, I'm the only guy I know who plays the lottery, and if I ever win, I am cutting everybody in.
Nice.
Everybody gets a piece. Well, everybody who I care about. So it's gonna be a little hard for some people. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh,
we're really that close? Really?
You know who the real friends and family are.
But Phil, you're on the list.
Oh, thank you.
This Rob Southgate guy, I don't know.
Oh man, we're gonna be podcasting on the Esser Media Group, aren't we?
Well, I don't know. No, you know what? I will definitely invest in the podcast world. I will say that much.
Nice. If
I win the lottery, we'll definitely do some investing. But we're not here to talk about theoreticals that probably will not occur. We're here to talk about fan theories, comic books, and other things we love. I'm trying to see what I sent you. But let's talk about this. Well, one thing I know I sent you.
Yes.
Is you can hear the fireworks going off. I think we're doing the 4th of July fireworks this weekend for some reason in Newark.
That's like a week early.
Yeah, well, sometimes they do that because, you don't want to compete with the New York one.
Oh, yeah.
And then other towns will have it on the weekend after. Newark likes to do it early, so we do it with the Canada Day,
And this year, you never know with the weather.
Yeah, not for nothing. So, yeah, I think we're missing the big fireworks display out in Branchburg Park. We're all home now, so. Had we been up on our community events, we could have been out there watching the fireworks and going, woo, ah, woo, ah. But, life continues. What are you going to do? Let's talk the Black Widow film.
Okay.
Have you heard about this, Philip?
I did see a picture. I guess that's supposed to be Taskmaster.
Well, that's the theory.
Speculating, yeah.
And basically what it is he has a hood. But it's like a hood that's down. Or to be clear, there's something that could be a hood that is down on his outfit. But he does not have the actual cape. He also doesn't have a shield or a sword. Or even a hammer.
Yeah, but, he picks up the shield to emulate Captain America's fighting style, but we still don't know when this movie takes place.
That is true. This could be set in the 90s, which makes you wonder if we're going to get a... Although there is video footage of Captain America's fighting style from the 40s.
Oh, true, yeah.
So he could have Captain America reflexes and fighting style. If that in and of itself should...
sorry, I was just thinking maybe he was just if Cap's not out of the ice yet, he might just be like, oh, why would I emulate the style of this dead guy? I mean, it'd be a handy skill, but I mean, maybe he might just be like, why would I emulate that dead guy from 100 years ago?
Yeah, and other people have pointed out that he's like wearing kind of a body armor, which is a little bulky for a Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Unless they're gonna like mess with his origin and it's actually the suit that gets the photographic reflexes,
like Cyber.
Which would be dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I hope they don't do that.
Yeah.
But what I find fascinating about this is that apparently, you know, and this is the thing that we're supposed to be kind of weird about, is like Marvel doesn't have films in production now. Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like there has to be secret production.
I'm pretty sure they said they weren't going to announce anything until after Far From Home. So I'm thinking they're going to let that happen, and then they're going to they might have one or two in production. I mean, besides Black Widow. But then the other theory.
Well, we also know that Loki's in production.
Well, that's
because we saw 70s Loki.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That was the other theory that like they were saying. Oh, maybe they're going to take like a small break on the movies to focus on those shows for Disney Plus.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's options. There's ideas that they're running through there. I don't know. My biggest interest in 1970s Loki is if he's going to meet Venus, because that is like Loki's official first appearance. It's a very different Loki, but it is officially Loki is a villain of Venus in the old Venus comic books from the 1950s.
Oh my God! If he's traveling,
so if you said in the 70s with,
no, go ahead.
Yeah?
No, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was actually waiting for you to finish.
Oh, sorry, no.
I was just adjusting my headphones.
Okay, no, I was just going to say, if he's traveling all over time, he's got to meet, like, Peggy Carter and maybe, like, Hank Pym and, you know, Howard Stark.
Oh, it'll be great. Oh, he should meet, you know, Jebediah Stark, you know, back in, like, Marvel 1812. Or Marvel 1889. I believe that was the Marvel thing they did, you know. I would love that. I would love to see Old West Loki. Well, you know, actually, not for nothing, the thing I really want to see is Loki 1938, which is an idea I've always had, which is like, you know, what is Thor doing when the Nazis are worshiping?
Oh, yeah.
We had the idea there when they do have that Invaders story where Thor is fighting with the Nazis. But it just strikes me that would be like really, I could just totally see Loki being, oh, there are people who still worship us, brother. Would you like to meet them? And then you get like a Thor Captain America showdown in 1938, or you even better, which I always imagined you would do, is you do Thor. What was it? Jeremiah. Oh, the African American Captain America who got the serum before Steve Rogers did.
Yeah. I forget the name. Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and the idea that you have him because it's canon that he is behind enemy lines during most of the war, and you have this other Captain America show up and fight Thor when Thor is being manipulated by the Nazis because they're worshiping me, brother. Of course, then you got to do like young, immature Thor, and you show how this helped him grow, and then you show how Loki helped Thor grow as a person. Because trickster gods aren't evil; they just think you're stupid.
Yes.
And you know, I think that's why I'm most excited. You know, this is why Loki is such a popular character because he's not. He is playing to your own weaknesses to get you to show how stupid you are. That's the basic. I mean, that's the basic premise of the Advocate. You know, it's like, look, Job is only good because you've never challenged him. You challenge him, he's gonna recant. You know, Job doesn't, but that's the idea: is that you're building up this idea that there is that the devil isn't, or the trickster god, which is a constant idea, and the devil is just the Christian trickster god, although he's been made much meaner in Christian folklore, is because he is trying to convince you to do the wrong thing, the thing you know you shouldn't do. And then when it blows up in your face, he's like, well, yeah, you knew you weren't supposed to do that. And so Thor 19 or Loki 1938 is a story I want to see.
No, but you mentioned the 70s. I want to see Loki in the Age of Disco.
Oh, well, yeah, Disco. We all want to see Disco Loki. I mean, we want to see Jaws. I mean, that's going to be great.
Loki could be the real inventor of the internet.
Well, entirely possible. It's like when Scotty goes back in time and gives the code for transparent aluminum manufacturers to the guys. You know,
Star Trek 4.
He says, "Hey, for all we know, he's the guy who invented it." You know. Fun fact: transparent aluminum is a thing. It's actually an aluminum crystal, which is actually what sapphires are. Mm-hmm. And you can actually manufacture them. They're just very difficult to manufacture. So you can create a transparent aluminum crystal that would have the necessary tensile strength that they're describing. Mm-hmm. It's just we haven't gotten to the point where you could actually mass produce, sheets and stuff. Mm-hmm. Fun fact. Moving right along. Yeah, I mean, the other theory is, and this is the other interesting theory, is that it actually doesn't take place in the past, but that we're going to do a clone saga with Black Widow. And the idea being that Black Widow is a Red Room product.
They kind of did that.
And
they kind of did that not too long ago. What was that? That Tales of Suspense or whatever. That's how they kind of brought Black Widow back. They kind of dumped her mind into like a clone body, I think. I'm trying to remember the story.
Oh, well, hey, it works for Hitler.
No,
so
Hey, that maybe there's a copy of her mind somewhere. They do, maybe they can put it in a clone body or something.
Well, not for nothing.
Or maybe there's copy of her mind in the Soul Stone.
Well, that's a possibility. I mean, honestly, the Soul Stone issue is a very complex issue.
Time travel.
The mind.
And time traveling Steve Rogers can dump that mind anywhere. And
no, he has to put it back on Vormir.
Well, the Soul Stone, but I'm talking Black Widow's mind.
Hmm. Actually, what's interesting is that literally all that they actually had to put back was the Time Stone. Because literally what she says is, what the Ancient One says is like, this is our greatest weapon.
Yeah.
You can't just take it and leave it because it's going to destroy our universe.
Yeah.
The Ancient One doesn't have access to the Soul Stone. She doesn't have access to the Power Stone or any of the other stones. It's just the Time Stone she needs back.
Yeah.
Honestly, you could go back and say, okay, hey, why don't you just take all these stones? Hey, Ancient One, I bet you could deal with Dormammu with this stuff.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, what? Probably could. I probably could. No. What? Just have some bread. Enjoy. He wants to put his iced tea in my non-alcoholic beer bottle so he can drink out of the non-alcoholic. Well, there's non-alcoholic beer, so there's nothing in there to wash out. But it's just drink the iced tea out of the bottle that it's in. It's like, why do I put up with this? Anyway.
Oh, I love it.
So, yeah, I mean, Clone Black Widow is an interesting idea. I think we are going back in time just because I think that's what they're doing now. I don't think they want to... I think they want to be careful in what they do next. Mm-hmm. I think they just finished this big arc. And I think that might be a mistake on their part, to be honest with you.
Do you think...
I think... Yeah.
Would people think it was like a cop out if they bring back in Clone Black Widow and they're like, oh, that negates her sacrifice or whatever? And
well, no, not necessarily because she doesn't remember her sacrifice.
True.
And not for nothing, you can bring Black Widow back from an earlier version of herself.
Oh, true.
But she could have no knowledge of the Avengers, and you just have and because it is rumored that Clint might be in it too.
Oh yeah.
And you have Clint going, you're Natasha Romanoff. And she's like, I don't know who that is. It's like Winter Soldier, but with Black
Widow, yeah.
But with Black Widow, where it's like, who's Black Widow? Who's Natasha? Yeah, I love that. Peter Porker, he's watching Bucky Barnes, Jack Horseman. It's great. Anyway, but getting back to the story, I mean, I think the Black Widow is. But my biggest thing is that it seems like there's more in production. There's more that's being done than is being released to us. Because I get the feeling that actually you can make a movie without anyone knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
If people just don't talk about it constantly, and you save your crowd scenes for later.
Oh yeah.
Once you announce it, and that's when you okay, now we have to rent out the streets and Detroit or Toronto or wherever, and we have to shoot a big fight scene. But that in general, like most of the movie is taking place on a soundstage in some room. Yeah. You can shoot all that stuff. A lot of the CGI, that's not even taking place in the real world, you know.
And again, like we said, you have to sacrifice a life for that soul stone. But it probably never happened. What happens when you put the soul stone back?
Well, actually, we do have an answer to that, which is that literally anyone can take it at that point. It's actually a flaw in the soul stone.
Yeah, but you don't get it back then?
Well, no, because the fact of the matter is that when Tony Stark, when Thanos then takes the gauntlet, and then when Tony Stark takes the gauntlet, it's like no one has done that sacrifice for the soul stone.
Yeah.
It's not like you can argue that Hawkeye can carry the gauntlet, but once Hawkeye hands it off to someone, that sacrifice is now meaningless. When it goes to Thanos, it's definitely meaningless because Hawkeye absolutely did not intend Thanos to have it.
Yeah, but is it? Do you need to just do the sacrifice to get it off that planet? I mean,
to get it off of Vormir. But once it's off the planet, then it's good. Yeah. So when you go back to Vormir, there's no guarantee that you still have to make a sacrifice after you.
Oh yeah, no.
Honestly, it's like they say, it's entirely possible that Red Skull was just being a jerk.
Can't trust.
You must make a sacrifice before you can take it. Blah. I've got nothing else to do today.
And again, that had to be the most awkward conversation when Steve Rogers takes that back.
It has to be, of course, that assumes that Red Skull showed up for Steve Rogers.
Oh, true.
It's like Red Skull's like, because Red Skull's going to know he's there. He's going to know that he's there to put the Soul Stone back.
Oh, yeah.
The Red Skull could be like, I'm just going to chill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to catch up. I don't need to catch up with old friends, Although, then again, he might be like, I have not talked to someone I knew from Earth in so long.
Mm-hmm.
I would have actually found it funny.
Like, did you and Peggy ever hook up? That would have been funny. That would have been funny. That might make that whole scene interesting. If he's like that, so you and Peggy, like, what happened with that? It's like, I got frozen in ice. It's like, you do have time travel, right? It's like, why don't you go back and go stupor at least once, Live a little.
All game.
Live a little, Stevie. Come on, don't be like me. Don't be obsessed with stuff. It's like, you do a whole Marley's ghost thing. It's like, look, I am a disembodied spirit on an ancient world guarding a soul stone.
You're going to waste...
You want more than that in your life.
You're going to waste America's butt.
I don't know. Peggy might be into Peggy. I'm not going to...
Oh! I wasn't going that far, but okay.
You're the one that brought up America's butt. I don't know.
You can grab it. That wasn't...
Okay.
Boy,
that's fine.
What about me and Lilith going R-rated? Jeez.
I'm just saying her name is Peggy Carter. And I want to just go once more on record in saying that Sharon hid that she was Peggy's niece until the funeral.
Yes.
So it's like, Steve is just being manipulated by these Carter women. Honestly, I don't know why he goes back to them. Honestly, he'd be like, you guys all really freaking betrayed me.
That's only now.
Multiple times. I think he should have went back, hung out with Betsy Ross, had little General Thunderbolt Ross.
How do we know he didn't at this point?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know. It's like he had a dance with Peggy. We don't know that they spent their life together.
Oh, my Lord. Can you imagine if he was the father of Thunderbolt Ross?
I think that would be amazing.
You're a traitor, son. Sit down!
It all works out in the end. Anyway, let's see what else is going on there. Got that Far From Home coming out. I don't think we had anything to talk about Far From Home.
I don't think.
We've pretty much spoken out. I promised the kids I was going to take them to see the extended cut of Endgame.
Yes.
Man, I don't know. It's like I want to go see Endgame again.
Yeah, but it's like, how much new content?
It's just do I want to take the kids? Because it is...
okay.
Well, we can go to the matinee. If we go before noon, if I get my butt up on Sunday morning, we can go catch the matinee,
Yeah.
I screwed up with Toy Story because I actually missed the matinee and I wound up... It was supposed to be a second showing at 12:50, but it was the Dolby showing.
Okay.
which is so much more
Oh,
expensive.
that's something you wanted to talk about, Toy Story 4.
Yes, let's talk about Toy Story 4. I just remembered that as I brought that up. Toy Story 4. Philip, did you see Toy Story 4?
Of course I did. I have a 6-year-old. Of course I did.
Okay, what did Luca think of it?
He liked it. I mean, he's seen the previous 3, of course not when they first came out, but he's basically gone into a current. They're all like basically the same to him. I mean, he liked it.
Yeah. I kind of feel this was not an end game.
No. But again, I mean, they could always come. I'm like, are they ending it here? I mean, you could have ended it on 3. Are they ending it here? Or can you do 2 separate movies now? You could follow Woody, or you can follow Buzz and the gang.
See, but the thing is that Buzz and the gang, Buzz and the gang, I mean, I guess here's my thing. I think they just told both stories of Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
The lost toys and the non-lost toys.
Yes.
And honestly, not for nothing, they ended it perfectly.
Yeah.
When they bring out, I guess, Popsicle Sticky.
Forky?
No, not Forky, but the female Forky.
Oh, okay. Okay.
In the end credit scene. And she's like, how am I alive? And he says, I have no idea. Which I think is this, it's the only way you could have ended it. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, spoilers, folks. Superconnectivity is a spoilers podcast. It's in our description.
I mean, when did it come out? Last week or the week before? It's been out at least a week.
Yeah, it's been out a week, but still, spoilers for Toy Story 4. But as I say, anyone who's listened to this show knows we do spoilers. So
yeah.
We do fan theories and we do spoilers. But I think that's a perfect way to end it because it does say, look, the toys don't know why they're alive.
Exactly.
They don't know what the quasi-mystical qualities of their universe are, that they become alive and, but are also bound by crazy rules about children. Here's a crazy, So, the biggest problem with the Pixar theory is that as Pixar keeps on making more movies, it gets harder and harder to fit all these movies into the Pixar theory.
Yeah.
Because the Pixar theory is something some rando made up one day. And Pixar's like, yeah, that's nice, you randos made up fun theories. We have no obligation to acknowledge or even work with those theories. It's cute you guys did that. Don't get us wrong. It's very cute. You guys are adorable. You are adorable. You're adorkable, even. But, we don't really care about your little fan theories. But the fact of the matter is you could do an addendum to the Pixar theory where you could suggest that the monsters are not mutated human. The monsters are toys.
Oh.
And that would explain why the toys have a weird relationship with children. Because basically what happened is that toys, after humans ceased to be or left the planet or whatever you want to do, are still alive.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of weird and freaky and like covered in fur. And it's like, well, what do we do now? And it's like, well, we can use door technology to go back in time or to go back in space or to go somewhere and enter and like interact with kids. You could even do another idea, which actually might even be more in keeping with Pixarian lore, which is that the monsters are extra-dimensional. But that actually what makes toys come alive is interaction with monster energy from the monster universe. Because we do see different levels of different toys. Because some toys are unsentient until they're unboxed. Some toys become sentient as soon as they're unboxed, and some toys never gain sentience, theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that every box and every toy is unsentient is weird, but also the fact that every toy, when it's unboxed, gains sentience, but then also believes its own backstory. It's an odd concept. It's an odd metaphysical idea, but one could make an interesting argument that monster universe energies coming into our universe, as they're removing the energies of children's laughter or children's, that basically the idea that when you take something out, something else must go in, the energies that animate monsters may be entering in the universe and animating toys, which are a proxy for the monsters. This is why we find ventriloquist dummies and other talking dolls creepy. Because they're filled with monster energy.
The drink?
Yes, it's a good drink. Although I'm getting old, man, my tolerance for it's building up too much. It's rough sometimes.
Doesn't affect you now.
No, nothing affects me anymore, Philip. That's my problem. I'm like immune to poisons now. Turning into freaking what's his name from the Russian Revolution? Rasputin. I'm becoming Rasputin. It's like nothing's poisoning me anymore.
You're like Batman or something. You know, you've done enough.
No, Batman planned for this. It's just totally just an annoyance now.
Oh, yeah, you didn't plan for it, but
yeah, I'm like She-Hulk. It's like, yeah, I don't actually, or like, Jessica Jones. It's like, I don't actually get drunk anymore. It's like I am too powerful. But Jessica Jones still gets drunk. She-Hulk can't. She-Hulk literally can't. And Captain America can't. He metabolizes the alcohol too fast. Jeez. It's like my body is adapted to all the poisons I'm trying to kill myself with. And it's like, oh, no, we're going to keep on fighting on. It's like, fine, body. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the effort, body. Good work for you.
Thanks for keeping me alive, body.
Well, I do, because it's not like I'm trying to kill myself, but I would like to have either the highs of a Monster Energy drink or the lows of a cold beer. But my body's like, no, we're better. We're stronger than that now. I blame it on not binge drinking enough in my teen years. I was very, very much didn't drink during my teen years, and so I think my body built itself up enough prior to when I started to drink heavily that my body was like, no, we can handle this. So, curse of an alcoholic's liver. Anyway, but yeah, no, I think this is an interesting theory that the toys are alive because of monsters. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. And that's the new corollary to the Pixar theory, that it's not that the monsters are actually dimensional, but it is the monsters coming into the universe that allows inanimate objects to become alive, because that would be scary.
Yes.
But because the monsters have a fear of children, that's why they have an innate feeling that they must avoid contact with children. And because they can't avoid contact with children, they just know we can't act alive around children.
Huh.
So it's a collective unconscious of the monster. When the monster universe became connected to the human universe, the energies of the monster universe began to animate toys and other inanimate objects. But because the monster universe is, by its nature, repelled by the human universe, the creatures that were created by this interaction wind up having a natural fear that they can't overcome of the human universe. So when a human is around, they feel they have to stop. They have to be toys again. And so I think that is our new Pixar theory.
That's interesting.
I love you too, Tristan. Good night. So anyway, that's my crazy fan theory on Toy Story 4 and how it can fit into the Pixar universe. Well, both disassembling and remaking it in a brand new version for the Pixar theory. Because I think that's the thing about the Pixar theory. The Pixar theory was based on earlier stories that now, as more stories are told, need to be expanded. And it's like any other story go around universe. One day we decide that Galactus needs to have something else going on with him. So it doesn't matter if he's the devourer of worlds. Now we want to say, well, actually, here's this other way we can look at him, and here's something, and here's Galactus' secret origin when he was Galen, and we can build out these universes. And since Pixar to this day says, it's cute you guys all have theories. We really love it. Don't get us wrong, but don't expect us to write movies to you. It's up to us as the moviegoers to adapt the stories for us.
But yes, if you would like
that's my theory, Philip.
If you want to discuss this with Charlie Esser, come join us in our new and improved Capes and Lunatics Facebook page, Capes and Lunatics Cloakroom.
Oh, yes, we do have our cloakroom now.
That's right. You could talk
named it.
About Toy Story.
I was debating calling it the Cloakroom or the bin.
Mm.
Because it was the cloakroom where you would hang your cape, or the bin where you put your lunatics.
Could have been the lunatic bin.
Could have been the lunatic, or it could have been the cloak bin too.
The
But I like the cloakroom.
Yeah.
Because you got to be a loony to hang out in the cloakroom too.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, but I like the cloakroom. The cloakroom is our new fan page on Facebook, where you all can come and talk with me and Phil and Lilith and Tyler and everybody else who wants to discuss all the crazy fan theories and fan news that makes up the Capes and Lunatics podcast multiverse.
So you want to talk,
including the sidekicks?
Yes. You want to talk some comics?
Yeah, let's talk comics. Let's talk Punisher: War of the Realms.
Okay.
Number 3, I thought I had lost it, but it was actually just over there on the floor. This gets dark, man. I mean, you know, for those who don't recall, Punisher is trying to walk a group of, like, people from a hospital through, I don't know if it's the Holland Tunnel or the Lincoln Tunnel, probably Holland.
Mm-hmm.
And basically get them to the other side because Manhattan's got giants and stuff. Like, although we clearly see there are giants all over the world, but you know, they're not going to Jersey. Nobody messes with Jersey. That's what I can tell you. And we get this whole storyline here where, and this is the crux of it, okay? Because at the end of the last episode, one of the guys got a gun. He's holding it outside. And he's making this statement, look, if we get to the other side, we earn our passage out, right? Okay, we are risking our lives. We're doing the good thing here. We get to the other side. You let us go. And he says, and I know you, Punisher. You swear on your wife and kid's soul. You'll let us go. And the Punisher says, I swear on my wife and kid's soul. When we get to their side, you've earned your place. You get to go. And you do see other people. They like say, screw this, and da-da-da-da, and they get shot in the neck with arrows and stuff. But the one guy who's being Frank's right hand in this, he's fighting the whole way. And then they get to the other end, and Frank's like, yeah, you know, I made a promise I was going to kill a frost giant. The guy's like, you tell me, Frank, I'm with you. I'm with you till the end, man. What do you need me to do? And Frank shoots him in the chest. Just straight up shoots him because he's a criminal. And it's like, you know, I don't need you. You know? Which, honestly, I think is A, short-sighted of Frank, B, totally a thing Frank would do, and C, just kind of really shocks you in that. And the doctor's like, you promised on your kids' souls. And Frank is like, and this is like, I think the most telling thing that Frank has ever said is like, what the heck's a soul? It's like, you know, I don't know if my kids had souls. I don't know if my wife had. And now, of course, there's a weird thing in this because Frank totally knows souls exist because wasn't he like an angel and a Frankenstein at some point?
Yeah, but I don't know how canon it. I don't know if they kept that or not. But
yeah, he doesn't remember that stuff. Yeah, you know, so it makes it a little more ironic though. It's sort of like, you know, it's sort of like what we were talking about with Spawn. It's like, yep, gods and demons are real. Just so you know, have a great day. It is messed up. It is really messed up. Now, then we're going to get Frank in his quest to go to, you know, chase down the frost giant who killed some random family. Because, you know, Frank needs a day job, I guess. And it is going to be a Seven Samurai story. He's going to gather together a ragtag bunch of other killers of other universes. He's got a brood queen in there. He's got all sorts of things. I really loved the book as a comic book. Meaning as a book that, you know, the more you think about it, the harder it's going to get to like it. But in itself, in that moment, it was a really good book. That's my opinion on The Punisher and the War of the Realms issue 3. I think I'm actually looking forward to the Punisher's hunting down this frost giant character. Because I think 90% of it is going to be about him trying to figure out how to get a passport to, you know, Niflheim and face the frost giants. What do you want to talk about, Philip?
I was going to say, kind of concurrently, do you want to talk War of the Realms 6 and Thor 14? Because they're kind of the same story, but just from, like, different perspectives.
Oh, I didn't realize Thor came out this weekend.
Yeah, Thor, it's basically still in that final battle there, but it's, like, from young Thor's perspective.
Oh, young Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the frog wasn't available, apparently.
Well, no, Jason Aaron's been working with the young Thor, old King Thor, and then President Thor,
Yeah, no, I know, but old Thor makes the point, like, oh, I guess this frog. Basically, no one likes you, young Thor. You're a jerk. Everybody's got a hammer but me.
Well,
I
forget they show that in War of the Realms 6 because in Thor 14 at the end he kind of picks up old King Thor's hammer and then the King's like, "Oh, you can hold that for a while." He's like, "No, it's yours. I don't need this stupid thing."
Yeah, Does old Thor have Mjolnir?
I think so because spoilers. Thor gets Mjolnir back at the end of this War of the Realms 6.
Or does he get it back or does change? Oh no, he gets it back. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, with a little bit of ego thrill as opposed to Groot.
Yes.
Causing our handle now. I wonder if Groot's related to Yggdrasil.
Oh. It's not big fiction.
Just saying.
Yeah, no, Jane's not gonna be rocking a hammer now. She's the new She's gonna be the new Valkyrie.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. The Punisher Kill Crew #1. That's the one that's going out.
Yeah, yes.
That's our 7 Samurai with Thor. Oh, he's got Spider-Man's helmet. So I guess he can talk to horses now.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite scene in this is Daredevil like throwing Heimdall's sword at Luffy, and Luffy swallowing it because you know why he does that?
You know who's still in there?
Well, he can hear Loki still in there.
Yes.
So he hears Loki like talking to himself inside. Because for those who don't know their ancient mythos, when a god eats you, you're just alive inside of them. Arguably, it's one of these things where it's like, yeah, you're alive for all eternity, and it's probably kind of crazy hellish. But, and then Malekith calling out the dogs of war and the beasts to him, and they eat him, of course, because he's calling them out of fear, not out of mastery. And good for him, I say. Good that he dies a horrible death.
But spoilers: Thor wins the day, and Odin decrees him king of Asgard.
He needed to retire anyway. He was like, you know what?
You really think he's going to retire, Charlie?
You know what? I think he is. I think he's like, I think him and Frey are going to chill out. He's going to, still have sex with a lot of other creatures.
I thought you meant Thor was going to retire. Okay, yeah, Odin. Okay.
No. Odin's going to retire. Odin's man, get a villa down on Vanir. I don't need this stuff anymore.
He's going to drink in corrals. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, as he does. This book, unlike other books in this series, was not horribly disjointed. Actually told a consistent story throughout.
Yeah. Well, maybe because it was the final part. They're like, okay, we don't have to tie anything else in. This is it.
Yeah. But I liked it. And like I said, I liked Daredevil. I also like Daredevil all talking Norse or like Norse Gotti.
Yes.
As he's wielding Heimdall's sword. Not for nothing. I wonder how that's going to affect day-to-day Daredevil. Yeah, it was like I'm just putting up his dukes there as he's about to fight the Frost Giant. Classic Daredevil. Yeah. No, it was good. And of course, Luffy swallows the cask of Winters for reasons. And the symbiote sword gets all burnt up by Thor. Yeah. I thought it was a good ending to a decent series. I don't think it was as expansive as Fear itself, and I think that actually worked in its favor.
Oh yeah.
I think that Fear itself was a series that was very expansive and only made sense if you read just the right books.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think too many. Like for example, one of the things I don't think this one even had like a what was it called, like byline or something, where they always did a series like, here's what everyone on the ground is dealing with.
Oh,
Yeah, where they did with, like, what's his name? The guy who died in Daredevil, Karen Page's mentor in the Daredevil series.
Oh, Ben Urich?
Yeah, well, they didn't do a Ben Urich story.
Yeah.
And I love the Ben Urich stories, to be honest with you, but I don't think this needed it, because I think it was just one more story to tell. Mm-hmm. I think that they were being a little more streamlined. So I think they were actually very restrained in how many stories they did. Not for nothing, because they're going to be doing several other events coming up soon, too. But they're doing less than they did with Fear itself, less than they did with most of these stories prior to this. So as crossover events, I think they're learning to be a little more self-contained and allowing people... here's what I'll say. I read all the War of the Realms, although some of the War of the Realms books did seem disjointed. Mm-hmm. I still felt I got everything I needed from it. So, all in all, I liked it.
Oh, but...
what else we got, Philip?
Avengers 20.
Oh, tell me about Avengers 20, because this is a book I forgot to pick up again.
You're going to read this before you go to bed. It starts off... it's basically all focused on She-Hulk.
One of my favorite characters.
Yeah, there's scenes of, like, Captain Marvel sends her out to fight, like, trolls and stuff. But it starts with, she's got... Black Panther has her kind of going through this, like, therapy with this, like, tech helmet or whatever. But it's, like, classic She-Hulk is, like, arguing with the new She-Hulk. And,
so she's just in the crossroads of the mind.
Yes. Trying to get back to where she used to be. Because, we used to be the funny Hulk and all this. And, and then, like, while she's, like, battling trolls, they have, like, her inner monologue. And she's like, yeah, I remember when me and Bruce used to talk. And Bruce used to be all envious. He's like, oh, at least you have control of your Hulk and stuff. And, people like you and stuff. And she's like, yeah. And then she's thinking, yeah, but what he never knew is, like, when Bruce was the Hulk, yeah, he might have been out of control, but, like, no supervillains were trying to cop a field during a battle, or nobody was trying to take pictures of his butt or something,
Mm-hmm.
like, with her.
Yeah. Well, and they did. We all remember that episode of Fantastic Four.
Oh, she brings that up, too. She's like, started on that paparazzi.
Yeah.
Topless photos, yeah.
Not cool, John Byrne, not cool.
Yeah. And then there's even, like, a page, like, where She-Hulk's, after she's battling the trolls, Deadpool shows up, and he's like, hey, I'm a big fan. He's like, but I gotta ask. He's like, even at the risk of bodily harm, why'd you stop being funny? He's like, you were really good at it. You were like me before me.
She was.
Yeah. And she says, rather be free. And he's like, how's that? And she's like, free to be ugly. It's like the savage She-Hulk saying, free to be ugly. And he's like, wait, can't you be both? He's like, asking for a friend.
Yeah. He's still got great bone structure. Yes.
But then there's, like, a scene, I guess, before Daredevil gives up his Asgardian powers. He's kind of being all cryptic with her. Because he's telling her, the Celestials powered you up, but not for this war. It's for wars yet to come. I guess basically Jason Aaron's saying, here's what's coming up in Avengers. Because he's like, through the Hell Race and the drawing of the Heralds, the Sea Trials and the Fury of Khonshu, the Red Rise of America's Mightiest Heroes. Through it all, your gamma rage will burn brighter.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm sorry, the Ravage of the who now? The Khonshus?
Oh yeah. Supposedly there was, like, a panel of, like, Moon Knight in, like, Avengers 700. So yes, the Fury of Khonshu.
The Fury of Khonshu. So yeah, for all you Moon Knight fans out there, we're gonna make that happen.
And I know Hell Race. I think they're gonna have the current Ghost Rider, like, I guess, encounter Johnny Blaze, who's, like, now the King of Hell.
Yeah, as you do.
But I love Daredevil's telling this to Jennifer Walters, and she's like, "Oh, thanks for the very vague clues."
Yes, well, he's all cryptic and Norsey.
But yeah, I recommend this to you and everyone else. But I know, especially you, you'll really love this if you read this.
I think I will love it. I will have to pick it up next Wednesday if they still have any copies left. But speaking of good bone structure.
Oh, Daredevil story. Deadpool story.
Deadpool.
Comics present number 6.
Yeah, 90s. Speaking of being fun, and your chromium outfit.
Yes! Deadpool starts his own comics company.
At Four Freedoms Plaza, man.
Oh, gotta look up at me.
Yeah, well, it is it's very meta 90s ridiculousness. Because it's looking back on the 90s from the 90s perspective.
Yeah.
And, you know, I gotta say, it is, like I said, it is good bone structure. It's like, you can't tell me that man is ugly. I mean, he's ugly like Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is ugly.
It's like,
You know, he's still Johnny Depp, you know? It's like,
I'm clear.
no matter how hard he tries, the man is Johnny Depp. The man is still Ryan Reynolds, you know?
A little bit of clear silk. Clean that right up.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like not even. He's got not for nothing. This is a world with actual lizard people
Yes.
and tiger people and monster people of all kinds. And you're gonna tell me that like Wade Wilson is like, oh, you're so hideous. You know, it's like, I guess, you know, but he's funny, and being funny solves the day.
That's right.
So, I did enjoy Marvel Comics Present. Like I said, I really felt the Wolverine story was like just super short and just like, hey, I'm Super Wolverine Girl.
Yeah, like I told you offline, I think I saw a solicit. One of the upcoming issues is like an all Wolverine issue, so
Yeah.
that's why they should.
What bugs me about that is she's basically Wild Thing from the MC2
Yeah.
with her psychic claws, you know? Because these are clearly some kind of magic claws that like magicy.
Yes.
I want to see if she has the foot claws too, because that's what they said. Because she's female, the foot claws are from the female Wolverine. Which again suggests that Wolverine is actually a super evolved Wolverine. They should go back to that origin.
Oh yeah, they were toying with that back in the day. Yeah.
You know, not for nothing. Wolverine, even with the ancient Wolverine storyline, because like actually, I think, well, it might be a little. Well, I don't know. When did the High Evolutionary come? I know it was the late 1800s. So
Yeah.
he couldn't have fought in World War II. But you know, whoever gave freaking High Evolutionary these things, he could have been experimenting beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the plan to make him some kind of hyper evolved Wolverine, and then once they put him in the X-Men, I think Claremont was like, "Yeah, he's gonna be a mutie."
Why not? But
yeah,
I'd rather he was a hyper evolved Wolverine.
I know.
It's a better story,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it explains so much why he doesn't really fit in among the other like mutants, you know.
Yeah.
Although I was waiting for them to like, because you did know that the Truth attacked Cyclops first.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, he attacks the one with the power to stop him. Then why are you attacking Cyclops? Could it be because he wields the Crimson Bands of Cyttorak? The one thing powerful enough to bind you?
Tread lightly, dumbass.
I'm telling you, man, it's coming. It's in the aether. And we are listened to, Phil. You think we ain't, but it's in the aether now. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. Just like apple juice in Mr. Iglesias, you know. Things we say, it goes out there, gets into the aether, and people don't even remember where they heard it.
That's right.
But they're like, oh, you know what? It would be interesting if Cyclops' powers were found in the Crimson Bands of Cyttorak. Because they do work exactly the same. They're both red and powerful.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could totally see those totally devastating a demon. So that's why the demon attacked him first. Even before the freaking goddess, even before the actual magic user, first one to get hit is the guy wielding the Crimson Bands of Cyttorak. Just saying.
I know.
It's clear, it's headcanon. Let's go forth and sin no more. Oh, anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we're good.
Did you read Conan?
No, I did not.
Conan's good.
Cool.
Not much more to say about it. I think we already talked Fantastic Four, DMV. That was fun.
Capes and Lunatics, yep.
And Secret Roars is great. And of course, we already talked the heck out of Superior Spider-Man.
Yes.
Ms. Marvel's okay. Don't know where it's going yet, but it was fun. And of course, hey, true believers, would you like to know the secret origin of Bunny Hulk? It'll only cost you $1 at your local comic book store.
Nice.
Nice, indeed. Okay, So, dear friends and listeners, we have connected all the things we can, but if you would like to connect to the blue-eyed bomber of the Byzantine world of comics, you can do so by reaching out to Mr. Philip Perich at some place.
You can always get a hold of me, nightwingpdp at gmail.com. On Twitter, I'm at nightwingpdp. You can always get a hold of us, capesandlunatics at gmail.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And check out Work in Progress, Lilith Hellfire's baby, capesandlunatics.org.
And, of course, you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email with the way around the buzz one say at superconnectivityblog at gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And other things I feel like. Apparently there's some sort of Crisis on Infinite Earths coming soon. We'll find out about that then. At Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEssesser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing!
All right, dear listeners, thank you for connecting with us once again. There's the music. Please, super connect with us again next week. Good night.
Good night.
I hope that episode went well. Hope it didn't go too long.
Oh, we're good.
Okay. Very good. I like talking over the music at the end. I think it adds humanity. Yeah. Man, we gotta have that end credit scene. That's why we're gonna go pay to see Avengers Endgame one more time.
The butts in the seats till last second.
$5 prompts a Hulk sequel.